Let's move into 1971 with Dawn and the Old Knock. 3 times.
Hey girl, what you doing down there? White on the pie. Means you ain't...
Tony Orlando and Dawn, and didn't they have some big hits back in the 1970s? And that biggie, the third most popular for 1971, Dawn with Knock 3 times. It's 5:24. You're on the original Drive Time Oldies but Goodies show back in the year 1971 with Rodney. The second most popular song of the year. It spent 5 weeks in the #1 spot, one of his all-time biggies, Maggie May.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. Darling, you and me, you know me.
Three Dog Night's all-time biggest hit, and it happened for them back in 1971. The #1 song of the year that year, Joy to the World, Three Dog Night. It's 5:37. Drive time as we move into 1972. Oh, this one sold millions and millions. I think it's still selling. Don McLean with American Pie.
A long, long time ago, singing this will be the day that I die.
That sure is a hell of a song. Don McLean from 1972, his all-time biggest hit. The entire song, part 1 and 2, together there, 8 minutes and 15 seconds worth of American Pie. Don McLean. It's 5:56 drive time. If you have a complaint about the traffic situation in Hong Kong, call the Transport Complaints Unit at Hong Kong side 776866. That's Hong Kong side 776866.
Hi, I'm Aileen Bridgewater. Every Monday to Friday between 9 and 12:30, you can hear the commercial radio talk show. Norman Wingrove is in the chair taking your calls from 9 through till 11, and I'm in the hot seat from 11 till 12:30. Join me and my guests as we discuss important and interesting topics. Oh, and you can join us too. Remember the number, Kowloon 361181, weekdays from 11 to 12:30.
Oh, thank you, Aileen. By the way, Aileen's special guest tomorrow will be Walter Zulke. Walter is very vocal, as we all well know, a very vocal critic of the government's new electronic road pricing scheme, ERP, and, of course, also on pollution control. So he'll be in the studio with Aileen tomorrow. That's Walter Zulke with Aileen from 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, right here on 1044 Commercial Radio. Well, here comes the #1 song of the year back in 1972. Gilbert O'Sullivan's all-time biggest hit, Alone Again, naturally. It spent 6 weeks in the #1 spot, and it sold millions. Gilbert O'Sullivan at 5:57 on Drive Time.
When she flies away.
Gilbert O'Sullivan, the #1 song of the year back in 1972. Alone Again, naturally. It's a little after 6 o'clock, Longines time. The American Pie fella that we just played a song from a while back. Roberta Flack, she went to a performance and she saw Don McLean in concert and was so impressed, she said to Norman and Charles, friends of hers, you have to write a song about this because this fella is something else again. Killing me softly with his song. Here's Roberta Flack. The fourth most popular hit record of the year way back in 1973 for Roberta Flack, and her all-time biggest hit, 5 weeks in the #1 spot. It sold millions. Roberta Flack, Killing Me Softly with his song. That's a nice oldie at 6:11 drive time. 1973, a very big year for female acts like Roberta Flack, and standing by Carly Simon with the third most popular hit record of the year back in 73 with a song that she wrote about for Warren Beatty, who she dated for a while. Mick Jagger thought it was written about him, but in fact it was written for Warren Beatty. Mick Jagger sings backup vocals on the song. Carly Simon wrote back then her biggest hit called You're So Vain. Interesting that women had the most successful year in music in 1984, last year since 1981, according to Billboard magazine. Madonna, Denise Williams, Tina Turner and Cyndi Lauper all scored #1 hits this year. Last year, rather. The first time 4 women have hit the top since Dolly Parton, Olivia Newton-John, Sheena Easton, and Kim Carnes had #1 records 4 years ago. The last time a female performer had a #1 album was also back in 1981 when Stevie Nicks' Belladonna topped the charts. But back in 73, a great year for female acts. Here's Carly Simon as promised with You're So Vain. Molly Simon, her all-time biggest #1 hit. Third for the year back in 1973, You're So Vain. The song for Warren Beatty. It's 6:16. Drive time, the temperature ribbon round the old oak tree. Remember that one? Oh, yes. 4 weeks in the #1 spot. Here's Tony Orlando with Dawn. Tony Orlando's all-time biggest hit. He never had a bigger one than that, that's for sure. The song of the year back in 1973, Dawn with Tie a Yellow Ribbon round the old oak tree at 6:23. Well, I think we have time to play 2 more tracks, so let's make it the #1 and #2 songs of the year back in 1974. And this was the second most popular hit record of the year. Terry Jacks, who was very popular for a while, for about a year and a half, with a Rod McEwen, Jack Brel tune. Beautiful song called Seasons in the Sun, the #2 song of 1974.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun, but the stars we could reach were just our fish on the beach.
Seasons in the Sun, Terry Jacks from 1974, the second most popular hit record of that year. Look at the time, it's 6:27 now, and time for the #1 song of 1974. And this one, just about every accolade there was to win back then. It won Grammys, Academy Awards, and became the #1 song of the year, the music of Alan and Marilyn Bergman and Marvin Hamlish, The Way We Were. And this is Barbra Streisand with the #1 song of 1974.
The time now is 6:30.